Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Dominance, Anthony here. Please remember to like and subscribe, and also click that notification bell if you're enjoying what you're seeing and if you want to see more. Coming up in this episode, bear with me as I try to explain who plays who in the Betfred Challenge Cup and also the 1895 Cup semi-finals. And we look at the scorers of today's 4th round Betfred Challenge Cup games. Plus we pay tribute to those that are involved. So yesterday was the 27th of February, Sunday, and it was the Challenge Cup Sunday, as there was no other top flight, whether it's Championship, League One, Super League games played in the UK, and the sights were set on the Challenge Cup. There were 8 games. They were bookended by 2 other games. One that's coming Monday night, which is Widnes Vikings playing host to Lee Centurions. That is live on Premier Sports. And the new the North Wales Crusaders victory against Hunslet, which they played on the Wirral. Anyway, so we're going to have a look into the scores and the scorers of those games. First of all, we have a look at the Batley versus the Royal Navy game. It was a blowout, unfortunately, for the Navy, as Batley went through 66 points to 6 to the 5th round. Tries from Hooley, Whiteley, Hodgson, 2 from Senior, 2 from Campbell, Meadows, Gilmore, Brown and Leake all set Batley on the way to victory. Gilmore scored 9 of his 11 conversions, while Texaria scores the try for the Navy, Bamford adding the conversion in a spirited beginning of the second half on the Navy. But the fairy tales ends for the Royal Navy and Batley move on to round 5. That game is still available on BBC Sports, and you can see that second half performance by the Navy. They deserved all the plaudits that they got for getting to there and all the support that they had. When it went over, it was like they won their cup. It was unbelievable, the noise that went over. It was big support, big cheers for the Royal Navy, and they should be proud of their run in this year's Challenge Cup. The second game that was played, that we're looking through, is Doncaster's 16-0 defeat to Whitehaven at home, despite only being behind at 12-0 at half time. Tries from Walker, Taylor, 2 from Eccleston and 2 from Williams, Cooper, Martin, Phillips, Wilkinson, Doyle all put Whitehaven on their way to the 5th round, while 2 conversions from Bishop and 6 from Moore completed the scoring for Haven for the Dons. Looking to next year in the Challenge Cup, or just staying focused on the league. In form, Featherstone made the short trip to Halifax in this all-championship affair, with Featherstone coming out 29 points to 16 victors. The away side scored through Gales, Jones, Briscoe and informed fullback Pickersgill, as well as 4 conversions by Craig Hall. Smith also put the cherry on top with a drop goal at the end of the game. But this is all despite some spirited performances from Halifax, and the Panthers scorers were 2 from Walmsley, 1 with this amazing jump, and Dufresne, while Keys kicked over 2 conversions. In possibly my game of the day, Hunslet Club Parkside caused a few problems for Sheffield Eagles, as they eventually went out on the wrong side of a 40 points to 20 scoreline. While it was 12-16 at half time, it was the visitors that scored the first try after a Fields penalty for the hosts, but it was all one way after Squires went over for the club for the Parkside club. Webster, McShane, and another try scorer that unfortunately eludes us did all the scoring for Hunslet Club Parkside, with Hullett kicking one of the 4 attempts at goal that he and Fields attempted. But as I said, Fields scored the penalty early on. But 2 tries either end of the first half and the second half, well, at the end of both the first half and the second half, put a gloss on the victory for the Sheffield Eagles. Kirk, Bass, Kuzdek, Hodgson and Jones Bishop were the other try scorers, while Isaac Farrell kicked over 5 goals. I have to stop and tip my hat to Hunslet Club Parkside, or Hunslet Old Boys as they're also known. They are coached by Paul McShane, the Castleford Tigers hooker, and they have been through 4 tough games to get and come out with so much credit, and we're only 3 minutes away from being in the 5th round, only for Johnson to score his 2nd and Ben Jones Bishop to put icing on the cake. They're only 6 points behind with 3 minutes to go. It were 20 points to 26. But they've already faced Featherstone Lions in round 1, beat them. Stanningly, at the same level as what they are, beat them. And also one major scalp. Part-timers, League 1 club, London Scholars. That's the one that'll be drinking beers on for quite some time. Sheffield Eagles Championship versus the lowest ranked team left in the tournament. Hunslet Old Boys. And guess what? Sheffield were given a fright. We continue with our look into the Challenge Cup with the London Broncos being defeated 34 points to 8. It was more than an hour that London Broncos were in with a shout of this game, as it was 8 points to 12 until Bradford put on a couple of gears, pushed through to win the game comfortably in the end. 2 tries from Ullenberg for the Broncos set them on the way, but a hat-trick from Gill, while Miller, Scott and Flanagan all went over for the Bulls. It was a 5 from 6 effort for Deck Patton as well that kept the scoreboard ticking along. Our next stop is at Scotland, where Rochdale Hornets faced Barrow Raiders, and with a scoreline of 6 points to 16 at half time, Rochdale Hornets were in with a shout of doing some damage against their championship form team, the Barrow Raiders, with 3 wins from 3 in their regular season. Tyra and Marriott scored the tries for for Rochdale Hornets, but they were set back by 2 sim binnings on the 18th and 31st minutes for Tyra and Baker. Sheridan kicked the 2 goals for Rochdale Hornets, while Barrow Raiders went through thanks to a hat-trick from Towell and 2 from Ritson, while Hopkins and Iara scored the other tries. Shaw also kicked 5 from 7 goals. Championship's bottom place team, Workington Town, faced the Dewsbury Rams in a tempestuous game, to be honest, with Doran, O'Donnell, Singleton and Barnes scoring the tries for the home side, while Doran kicked 4 goals and a penalty. But they had Barnes sim-binned almost on the hour mark. Paul and Beryl scored for the Dewsbury Rams, while Beryl kicked through 2 from 2, who themselves had 2 sim-bin, with Stevens and Schofield both feeling the referee's ire. And the final game we're going to talk about is the York City Knights facing Newcastle Thunder, with the scores 42 points to 13. The half-time score was 24 points to 13, so as you can see, there was only one-way traffic in the second half, but the first half started off so brightly for Newcastle Thunder as they traded try for try, going in for the lead through Mullen, with Ellis responding for the Knights. Then Mullen got his second, then Dixon scoring their second try, before Marsh and Harris went over for the first half of tries. Marsh went over again in the second half, but Woods kicked a drop goal just before half time so that they could get some points on the score and keep up that scoreboard momentum. Marsh may have gone over the first try, but there was a three-man tackle on Jay Chappell though that caused a stoppage in play for quite some time, as it would look like a serious knee injury because he had to be stretchered off. His brother Ted was on the pitch as well, and he's down amongst the group supporting Jay at that time. We wish him all the best. But further tries from Harris, Stock and Ward all attempted to be converted, with Ellis kicking 7 goals, seeing Newcastle through to the 5th round. But then again, we have to send out get well soon responses to Jay Chappell, and hopefully it's not as bad as first feared. So now on to the scores as they look so far, beginning Saturday the 26th of February 2022's result, which was North Wales Crusaders 30, Hunslet 8. Now on to Sunday the 27th of February 2022, where we see Batley Bulldogs winning 66 points to 6 versus the Royal Navy. Doncaster RLFC lost 60 points to 0 against Whitehaven. Hunslet Club Parkside 20, Sheffield Eagles 40, Workington 26, Dewsbury Rams 12, Halifax 16, Featherstone Rovers 29, London Broncos 8, Bradford Bulls 34, Rochdale Hornets 12, Barrow Raiders 38, York City Knights 42, Newcastle Thunder 13. So before we finish today, there is a little story about how tough rugby league players are, as they know when they play the sport that injuries are part and parcel of the game. However, sometimes an injury can make you wince enough to pause and take notes of what absolute warriors they are when playing the sport. One such warrior is Matty Dawson-Jones, who, in the West Yorkshire club's 34 points to 8 victory over London Broncos, the Bradford Bulls winger was taken off 6 minutes left of the game, due to a facial injury. In a tweet, the club stated, "Dawson-Jones is helped from the field with what looked like an injury to the nose. We hope it's nothing too serious, Dawes." The Bulls then went on to update on Matty Dawson-Jones, as the winger has cut the top of his mouth and lost a few teeth in the process. Speedy recovery. I want to echo them sentiments as well, as losing a few teeth is the worst thing to happen in anyone's walk of life. He's playing rugby league, he's playing the sport I love, so I'm sure he's got a good dental to help him out with that, as I chew chewing gums to try and sort out mine. With all these results in, we find out who the teams get to face, who faces who from the winners of the 4th round in the 5th round draw for the Betfred Challenge Cup, and that will be held on Monday night, February the 28th, after this episode, which is shown on Premier Sports. I mean, Winners vs Lee shown on Premier Sports, but it's not the only draw. The winners of the 5th round ties will be entered in the AB Sundex 1895 Cup, and 3 of them will be a single win from the final at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on September the 28th, with the other 2 to face off in a playoff to earn a place in the semi-finals. The draw for the playoff and the semi-finals of the AB Sundex 1895 Cup will be held in the week following the Betfred Challenge Cup 6th round, starting Monday, March the 28th. The playoff will be held on the same weekend as the Betfred Challenge Cup quarter-finals, which is April the 9th and 10th, and any non-league Super League club who qualify for the quarter-finals of the Betfred Challenge Cup will be rewarded with an exemption from the playoff draw. The AB Sundex 1895 Cup semi-finals will be played on the same weekend as the Betfred Challenge Cup semi-finals, May the 7th and May the 8th. If a team qualifies for the semi-finals of both competitions, their 1895 Cup semi-final will be delayed. If they reach the Betfred Challenge Cup final, that will take precedence over the 1895 Cup semi-final. If they lose the Betfred Challenge Cup semi-final, the 1895 Cup semi-final will be rearranged to provide the team with a second chance to reach Tottenham. So they're going to have to delay 2 steps if they reach the Challenge Cup final before they get to decide if they're in the final of the 1895 Cup. What if they win the semi-final? Do the semi-finalists get a bye? Ah, okay. Thanks for explaining it to me. I'll speak to you soon. Love you, Ralph. Bye. I recorded that. Oh dear. Okay. Anyway, sorry you heard that. Thank you so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. That's the end of today's episode. I hope you understood what I was talking about in the 1895 trophy. Basically, they move it back if you qualify in the latter rounds. But anyway, I'm sure that someone will tell us in a better way with a graph and then all lines to where they want to go afterwards. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, and also share this video worldwide, as well as clicking that notification bell for any other episodes that may be coming your way. In the meantime, tell me what your performance of the rounds were. I've got to go for Hunslet Parkside. There's no two ways about it. They were the better team on most of the game. Well, possibly the better team. More than likely, more than a match for Sheffield Eagles before their speedsters came on and it got open a bit more due to fitness concerns. But Paul McShane can be proud of his boys. Tell me what your thoughts are. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, all the best, and I'll see you in the next episode.